Hi, this is Apostle Laura Lee. You can support this YouTube channel by subscribing, liking, sharing this video to social media, Facebook, Twitter, etc. I want to add some information to the Carol Channing evidence pile. Carol Channing at the Super Bowl. It was like an opening night on Broadway. Carol Channing was actually the first celebrity to do a halftime show for the Super Bowl. It's very well understood in at least the conspiracy community. I don't know how Christians could possibly miss it if they did see these Super Bowl halftime shows, that these shows are occult and satanic. They're pagan occult rituals. And so I think it's a very significant issue that Carol Channing was selected as the first Super Bowl celebrity. Today's Super Bowls are built so much around celebrity, Katy Perry, Madonna, Beyonce, that it's easy to forget the first 3 Super Bowls didn't feature a name performer. Halftime entertainment was the bands at Grambling and Florida A&M. If you had seen the bands at Grambling and Florida A&M, is entertainment enough? It might surprise many fans that it wasn't until Super Bowl IV in New Orleans, Tulane Stadium, that the NFL decided to add a big name star to their show. And it might surprise those fans even more that the first star the NFL selected was Carol Channing, best known for her role in the Broadway hit Hello, Dolly. So, Dolly is a really big thing in the occult because they generate these MK Ultra victims as dolls, and they're dolls to be inhabited by demons, and then they call this illumination, and it's the whole thing to traumatize these poor people and bring them into the occult so that they become so possessed by the wicked one. And I've gone over on my channel and I'll try to link to this at the end possibly, that the transgender agenda is this blasphemy of the spirit. They call it the highest astral infusion to transgender. So it's an occult ritual in worship of the Baphomet, in worship of the devil. And to them, they get the most, quote-unquote, illumined by it. So when you hear Illuminati and you understand that the illumination that is the highest level is this transgenderism, the Illuminati means transgendering as endgame. So this Broadway hit, Hello, Dolly, that Carol Channing starred in, really would be a very good study for its occult meanings. I did show that picture in the first part where it looked like they were wearing the Masonic aprons. So I think that there's a lot in that Broadway hit, Hello, Dolly. Okay, so basically, because she was the first person and she sang When the Saints Go Marching In, and then she was invited back 2 years later. It was a tribute to Mardi Gras. And, the Mardi Gras is very, very occultist, and it's very much about the Rainbow Coalition, LGBT. It's incredibly pagan and incredibly Baal worship and open perversion at Mardi Gras. And so it was Carol Channing and Mardi Gras was their first big entertainment in Super Bowl IV. I think that's very significant to show what a figure Carol Channing is in the occult.
I want you to look at this. Channing's first job on stage in New York, that's going to attempt the Baal Arch of the Baal Temple. Think about it. Was in Mark Blitzstein's No for an Answer, starting January 5, 1941, at the Mecca Temple. Let's get this again. The Mecca Temple. Later, New York's City Center. New York City Center is the Mecca Temple. And listen to what she said about this is a temple. These people are serious about their Satanism. They're serious about their one world religion. This is an obituary for Charles Lowe, one of the husbands of Carol Channing. People think to themselves, well, they were married. And they project onto these transgenders and homosexuals a normal, heterosexual, monogamous relationship that does not exist. You're dealing with an entirely different kind of person. They don't have a heterosexual union, but they get married. Let's take a look. The famous and seemingly inseparable Hollywood and Broadway couple of Channing and Lowe took a tinge of infamy in May 1998 when Channing sued him for divorce in Los Angeles County Superior Court. She accused him of squandering her fortune, abusing her mentally and physically, and having sex with her only once or twice in their long marriage, married for 42 years. This is a picture of supposed Carol Channing's mother and father with Carol. I want you to look at the quote-unquote mother on the right. Some people will say, well, see, she looks just like her mother. Well, her mother looks just like a man. So does she, and we're going to review it. Look at the high cheekbones, the male brow ridge on the mother, the receding forehead going backwards, the huge wide shoulders, the very large hand, and you can compare it to the quote-unquote father's hand. It almost looks like a transgender couple right there. He's got the large lips. He does have a large ear, but regardless of whether he's a woman, a transgender, because they've done this generationally for a long time, that person on the right looks like a man. That's supposed to be the mother. We'll look at some pictures quickly to see how odd of a person this really is. Look for the big chin, the high cheekbones, the huge face, man legs. Let's look for the typical transgender signs. And the long arms. Look at that huge chin, the male brow ridge, the receding forehead there. Take a look. You're seeing someone who is raised transgender, and I showed you some evidence. And that's how they get a different body. They suppress body development, but this one really looks like half-done transgender. Looks very masculine. Look at how the squareness of the side of the face, that's male, and the jaw coming outward, even though they give the female hormones. Look at that. That's Rosalind Russell on the left. That's Carol Channing on the right. They both look very transgender, do they not? Okay, look at the hand signals that are being made. I don't know what that one is. I know that one's a Freemason Illuminati hand signal there. See the very big, huge mouth and teeth, all signs. Look at the head of Carol Channing compared to the one on the right and the left. See how huge it is? Man head. When they castrate the boys and give them the male hormones, it stops the development of an Adam's apple, but there still can be a slight one. I'm going to show you a slight Adam's apple there. Take a look. You can see for yourself what you see of the Adam's apple there. It's slight, but remember, they give the female hormones to suppress secondary male development and castrate the boys. But you still can see a woman really wouldn't have that typically. Please take a look at the shoulder and the arm development on this person and how huge that head is. That's a man head because it's a transgender, so it ended up with a man head, and they suppressed body development. But this one really is awkward looking, and this is a gay icon. Take a look at that. That's a man. This is a gay icon because of being a transgender in Hollywood. Look at the big, huge mouth, the high cheekbones, the big jaw, the huge head. And remember that when they transgender these children, they suppress secondary male development through giving testosterone. This one ended up quite tall and has many male appearances. And then they'll do hip implants, hormones for hips. And it's almost like this one didn't get very many hormones as got older. This is really odd. And it's odd also how nobody in America who's normal really caught it. It's because of our innocent naivete. We just think they wouldn't do that to us. So everybody thought Carol Channing just had a very unique voice and just this outgoing personality as a woman, kind of a comedy thing. No, it's a drag queen tranny show, and we didn't think they would do that to us. They do it constantly. Look at that head. Look at that head and chin. It's like a joke. They're making a big joke. They're laughing at everyone, showing this obvious drag queen tranny, once you look and realize they can and would do this, to a girl who's obviously shorter, but nonetheless you see the huge difference. It's a joke they're playing on us. Now look at her head and face, his, compared to these men. Look at the shoulders and the upper arm muscles. Look at how the collarbone and the shoulders and the upper arms and the whole arm length works. Look at the legs. They're man legs. We'll lift up the skirt in a little bit and you'll see it. Look at how, look, those are so man legs. And look at the size head on that body. And look at the long, lanky, tranny arms. Look at the arm development there. Look at the two girls to the side. And look how the two girls to the side are so much shorter and have wider hips and smaller heads. Even if they're trannies, they're more like the typical woman, and they're laughing again. They're highlighting the transgender, glorifying. Look at those arms. That's not a woman. It's obviously a man. And this is what Hollywood does to us. And they think it's cute and funny. Look at the comparison there. Can you see? They're highlighting a man between two female figures. The interviewer asked Carol Channing, as an international icon and gay icon, what are your views on the current state of affairs in the LGBT community, specifically gay marriage? She says, the gay community is responsible for so much of my success and I love them. It's a mutual love affair, really. They make the better audiences too because they laugh often and loudly. Years ago, I was made their queen in San Francisco. Hollywood is a satanic tranny propaganda agency. It's the Baphomet Satanic Illuminati New World Order transgender agenda.
Thank you.